investigated this condition exactly to better understand the enterprise performance. And we looked at 4 different dimensions of the business environment, namely the formal institution, the presence of informal institution, which could support the enterprise, the competitive environment, and then the future outlook as the investment plan of the enterprises. Starting from the bureaucracy through the years, so the relationship with informal institution of the interviewed firm, we utilized 2 different measures, one direct and one indirect measure of the relationship between formal institution and firms. The first one, it was an indirect, and it's the time spent on public administration, the perceived time spent by a firm. And through all the years, the average didn't change much, accounting for 4.5 days per month. While this time drastically increased with enterprise size, with micro firm having half of the time spent dealing with public administration compared to medium size. Lastly, in this indirect measure, we also found out, not surprising, that formal enterprise tend to spend higher time in dealing with the public sector. The second measure is a direct one, whether we directly ask how many yearly inspection the firm has experienced. And we have noticed that through this decade, the number has decreased. And with an average in 2022 of 2 inspections per year. This decrease could also be due to the pandemic, probably. And again, this number is increasing with firm size, not surprising, and formal enterprise are also expected 2 times more frequently than informal enterprise. What is interesting to notice, though, is that informal enterprise are still recording some interaction with formal authorities and public administration. And this could suggest that they are in the beginning of the process of formalization. Concerning informal institution, we decided to investigate whether those enterprises have a membership of a business association. And we saw that this membership increase over size, with firm size, meaning that medium firms tend to have almost 50% almost 50% of the medium firms tend to have a membership, while only 5% on average of micro enterprise tend to have a membership of a business association. Business association could help the firm to invest and take decision and create a networking, both professional and personal. In generally, through the decades that we analyzed, the number of business association has decreased across all year. And finally, business association membership are more common among foreign firms, probably due to the lack of idiosyncratic and implicit knowledge of the country context. Moving to the perceived competitive environment, we decided to ask what was the perception and of the level of competition that those firms in their line of business had. And about 2/3 of the enterprise that we interview through the years has answered moderate and severe. Small enterprise perceive higher level of competition, and this is consistent in all the 3 surveyed years, while higher competition is perceived in the south, as you can see from here. Moreover, the most competitive sector, or where the most where the competition is perceived in highest, is the chemical, metal, and textile. Now, looking into the investment plan, we decided to ask what were the future plan for firms. And the most positive outlook was recorded in 2012, as you can see from the graph. But optimism faltered in 2017, probably due to the debt crisis. In 2022, though, the picture is still positive. 85% of the firm have a positive look on the future, while only 2% is imagined to closing the business. Surprisingly, Central Region singled out as optimistic. To sum up and to add some closing remark, the public sector play a strong role in shaping the private sector outcome in Mozambique. And the interaction with the public sector increase with firm size. The mechanisms to deal with inefficiency are still limited, and business association could be seen as a solution. Although we also notice that there is a low reliance on business association that decreased through the year, and as well as the satisfaction with the membership. And this could indicate a limited prospect for informal interaction to correct for imperfection in the functioning of formal institutions. For what concern competition and investment plan, overall there is a positive look on the future, which is something positive, and competition is perceived to be higher among small firms. Expansion plan declined with firm size. This could be translated in a policy recommendation that we should support especially micro and small firms which report higher pressure from competitors.